Welcome to the back
to the back
to the back
to the back
podcast. I am Dakota. Don't look at yourself.
Oh, I was just thinking. I think I might
Be
have
like
the
Christina
camera
and
up.
don't look at you.
Look at me. I'm Sarah.
Yeah, she's Sarah.
I totally forgot.
I didn't.
Anyhow.
Anywho. Happy Pride. You probably could tell from her.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you see that. I mean, you see a rainbow, but it is
me being loud.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
We are in the thick of it, as the backyardians would say, of Pride Month.
Yeah.
Actually recording on Juneteenth. Also happy Juneteenth.
Which feels weird. I felt so bad about that. I mean, it's not my fault. It's the NBA's fault.
Black people get overshadowed all. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just saying, like, if they had scheduled a game on a Sunday night, like they should have, instead of a Monday night, we would have recorded on Tuesday like we normally do.
Yeah.
So not my fault. But then I also felt like almost like this afternoon, I almost said, do you want to wait and do it tomorrow? But then I felt like that would have been too much pressure to get it edited and ready.
Yeah.
If we waited till Thursday.
Not pressure to really get it edited and ready. It's pressure to pull clips.
Yeah.
That's when it leaving less time.
Well, that's actually not a big deal because, just so that y'all know, we're taking a break next week, so we'll have like a week without an episode, just because like.
No, we won't have a week. Remember, we're double recording. I thought. Oh, we're taking a break next week.
No, we're just taking a break.
Oh, cool. I'm.
And say if we were double recording.
I don't know if I look it, but I'm quite tired. Just not like generally in the day tired, but tired just cumulative like days, feeling exhausted.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I need a break. I need a Kit Kat. Break me off a piece
of that fancy feast.
It kind of like sounds better sometimes.
I mean, sorta.
The only time I like the actual slogan is like that One Chance commercial where he goes like, "Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar."
Guess I missed that one.
It was like years ago, but it was like when he was in like the height of Chance, and he has like that like a little raspy thing he does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it. Kit Kats.
They're good.
They're great.
I guess sponsor us. Sure. Because I don't think they really need.
Who owns Kit Kat? Because is it Nestle?
Don't know. It's probably somebody terrible.
Yeah, there's probably more times than not, the thing you like is probably owned by someone terrible. Right. And that's just a golden rule in life.
Yeah. But anyhow, if we were going to be double recording, that means we would have recorded twice today.
Yep. And
that's not happening because I still haven't had dinner.
No, I meant like double recording as in like a day and then you record like tomorrow. I don't know what I was thinking.
No, we're just going to take a week off.
What do you have for dinner tonight?
I regrettably defrosted wings, and I know when I leave I'm not going to want to make anything.
Yeah, you can air fry them.
Well, no, I am going to air fry them.
Yeah.
But like, and it's not even that it's hard. It's just like we won't get done until like 6:15, and then that means it'll be almost 7 before I'm eating. That's just late. Which is actually probably normal for other people. It is, no.
Or even maybe early for some people.
It is for Natasha and them. They eat at like 9 p.m.
That's crazy. I just don't like going to bed. Like, I like to have my stomach to be like pretty settled before I go to bed.
Like, I don't think I like, and I mean, I'm telling, like, if I have like a little dessert afterwards, it no later than 8:30. Like, it just feels like, that's why I like to eat around like 6. So at the latest, so that way I have time in between. But anyhow, I'm sure nobody cares about my eating habits.
I do. That's why I asked.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of the episode will be about Pride. We're
gonna cover all rainbows. All colors of the rainbow.
Okay, I was going to say, are there other kinds of rainbows I'm not aware of?
Yeah, there is. I think, isn't rainbow like a term? Like, can like usually different colors? I don't know. You're our resident LGBTQ plus. I don't know the full thing now.
I think that's it.
It's LGBTQI plus. A plus.
I think that, and plus, yeah.
Yeah, because asexual, yeah.
I am a part of the alphabet. Mentally and sexually.
Yeah.
And that was like, it's cool to do this episode, but it also makes me very anxious.
Yeah, because I think that like, it's a weird thing. It's like, obviously I don't want to say, what's the term? I'm black, right? And then
sorry.
Right, and so black people in America have
Discrimination.
discrimination, and same with like people a part of the LGBTQ plus
Yes.
like community. But the thing with that is it's not being black
Can't hide
is you
that.
can't hide that.
Yeah.
And not saying one is a luxury, one isn't. It's just there's differences. Like the whole thing of like coming out, like that's not like I'm not like, oh, surprise, I'm black.
Right.
Like, hey, Dad, I have to tell you something. I'm African American. Like, no,
Yeah.
that's never been a situation for me. But I don't know. I think that's like different. Like, I never like. Sometimes I feel like forget that like discrimination comes in all different forms.
Well, yeah.
Um,
I'd say like probably the worst is black trans women.
yeah.
That is the highest, like, statistically, to be unalived, to unalive
The
themselves.
T
Like,
stands for trans, doesn't it?
yeah.
Why did I just now like put that together? I always knew trans people were a part of the community, like obviously, but I never really like paid attention to the letters.
I mean, I know what it is,
Like
but
when I say
that's
it, I don't think of the like what the letters stand for.
right. I think for your generation, maybe the reason
Just grew
you
up with it,
don't,
I
yeah, you
think.
just grew up with it. So, like, it's
Yeah.
not as, like, a big deal. And that's why I was going to talk about why part of the reason I'm so anxious about it is because I am a baby Gen X, a Zennial, if you will, right? And it definitely isn't something. I was trying to think like the first like representation of queer that I saw
In
in
media.
media, and I'm sure there was something in the 80s, but I can't picture what I'm with. I mean, besides with like, no, like I know they're obviously Freddie Mercury and Queen, right? But like I meant like a character like on a show, right? And I want to say, and I know I'm gonna get this wrong, so I'm gonna look it up. Um, Sorry, now I can't read.
I'm filling the void.
Yeah, you
I'm
need
gonna
to,
talk about.
please.
Well, I said you. I started this off with you were gonna talk about it. I mean, I think, but and just go back to what you were saying. I think my generation, like, it's a good thing that like how like times are changing. Like, I think there's just more like there's obviously not as much, and I don't think I can speak towards it because I'm not part of that community. But I think there are more. At least there's more representation, whether it's good or bad. There's more representation, in media for my generation at least.
Well, so
Um,
it was like the first one that I can like really grasp a hold and remember was from My So-Called Life, and that was Ricky. Um, the Claire Danes' character is like one of her best friends. Um, and that's the first like vivid representation I remember. And then the next would be Buffy, Willow's character, and then and that was pretty cool, especially because like as she came out, um, she like became this powerful witch. So it was like a really cool, like to me, like, hey, you came into your complete self and you
yeah.
became. I mean, she was already on her way to being a witch before that, but like as she grasped. God, I didn't say
Grasp,
that. Yeah.
firmly grasp
Yeah.
it.
As she became more into who she was, she became stronger. Like, so I just thought that was a really cool thing. Those are my first like really early memories of representation. And then I know there's been more over the years, obviously. I
Yeah.
mean, RuPaul's Drag Race is like it's so funny to me how that crosses like so many barriers. Like
Mm.
there's straight men that just really, really love that.
It's interesting. I like it for the art aspect. Like,
Yeah, that's
I love art. I mean, and drag queens, some of the best artists out there.
right.
Like just like in general, just like to makeup, like it always fascinates me. I think actually the first I was telling you earlier today that the first like I thought the first representation, um, remembering would be Mitch from Modern Family, and Mitch and Cam. But now that I think about it, I still have never seen the movie. But like the first time I remember hearing about it was Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're just like so big. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think either of those actors are gay, Jake or,
No, I don't
and
know.
I don't
I don't
know
know if
if
they're
Heath was on.
right. But no, they as far as I know they were
Yeah.
hetero cis men.
Uh, but yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think there's that because there has been so much more representation that your generation and like Gen Alpha are definitely way more open. I'm not saying there's still not homophobia.
No,
like
yeah,
there
for
is,
sure.
but I just feel like it's not as big of a deal for y'all as it was, and that doesn't mean there still shouldn't be more representation, that there still shouldn't be more like activism in it. Not at all.
Yeah.
Especially with the crap that's been happening in our country over the last few years. But for me, I'm the B in the LGBTQIA. I guess Dakota's never known me to date a woman, but I have.
I kind of wish you did when I was.
Oh.
I used to be interesting.
It's been a very, very
I'd
long
love to see
time.
that dynamic.
Now
I don't care what you date. I just want you to find someone happy.
I will say that because it's been since my 20s and I'm 45, so it's been like 2 decades or over. Well, I guess not over, just like 2 decades. Or maybe even actually. Anyhow,
too much math for this late.
I'm not good at the math. 30. I think. Yeah, it's been at least 15 years, right? And I wouldn't even know how to approach a woman now, because I will say, men scare me, women intimidate me.
Yeah.
And the scare me from men is not a good thing.
Not that I'm going around being scared by many men, but I will say, if I had to put a term to that, I think that's the same side for me. Like, I don't think I would be intimidated by a man. I'm just like, some dudes are crazy. Like, oh yeah,
just like frightened, like genuinely frightened.
I don't want to know what's going on in your brain.
Right. Whereas women are intimidating.
Intimidate me.
Oh yeah. So like, I get why a lot of guys don't approach women, because I don't want to. I'm like, even now when I compliment a woman, and it's not me hitting on them, it's just me complimenting them.
Yeah.
I still worry, like, are they gonna take that the wrong way?
I will say one thing, and I've told you this numerous occasions. You can love whoever you want to love, and I don't know what, like, that's firmly where I stand, and I will always stand that, and consensually, yeah. But as I've grown older, I have noticed, or I've seen, more and more of my friends are like women friends are like bisexual than I thought they would be, or like lesbian.
Oh yeah, I was gonna look. I saw the statistics on that,
and I don't know what the statistics are for heterosexual men versus gay men or bisexual men. But to get a long story short, I kind of understand why so many people are attracted to women presenting people, because if you just like look at us, men versus women are far more attractive than us. Right. I'm sorry, bro. Dudes are hella ugly most of the time. Like, women are beautiful. I find far more beautiful women out there than that I find men that I would think I'd want to look like, or I would consider attractive.
Yeah. I was gonna say it was at 2/3 of this is like your like Gen also, Z and Gen Alpha, right?
Real quick, dudes, it's not. I just want to. It's not anything to say to acknowledge another man's attractive. I hate that. Like, yeah. I don't want to say like that's so homophobic. Like, so rooted in homophobia. It's stupid.
Well, it's. I remember I said, what is it, yesterday or the day before? I was like, so much of men's problems are self-inflicted.
Well, yeah, it was
because of patriarchy.
I was saying, it was like a statistic. I don't know the exact one, but I was like listening to a podcast, and they were saying that most men who are short tend to not make as much, and then most women who are tall tend not to make as much. And that all roots to men being self-conscious. Yeah. Like, they don't want a tall woman, but they don't want to be short either.
Which is crazy, because I've seen more and more lately. I think because of like Love Island and stuff, right? And they're like, we love a short king. Like, I promise you. No. Okay, lots of yes, there are a lot of women like, I like a tall whatever, right? But there's a lot of other women more women than you would know that would date someone average or short. If they're like have a good personality and they're gonna treat you right.
I'll date a taller woman. I don't care. Now, if you're like 6'5",
yeah,
that might be a little different. But if you're taller than me, same height, I don't care.
See, I think dating anybody over 6 foot for me would be weird.
Well, yeah, because you're short.
I'm very short. Yeah,
and I don't mean that as like a slur. I mean that as a fact.
But I was gonna say for Gen Alpha and like Gen Z, right? 2/3 of young queer adults polled considered themselves bisexual, and most of them are women who outnumber bisexual men 3-1. Now, I would say that even with y'all's generation, I still think there's such a stigma with being bisexual, both out of the LGBTQI community and in it. So there's discrimination from both sides for us. And I'm not saying it's to the level of trans, right? But I would say after trans, it's us. Because the discrimination goes inside the community and outside of the community. For men, it's if you say you're bisexual, it's like, nah, you're just gay, right? And if you're a woman, no, you really like men, it's just a phase. Like, so either way, you're not being validated. So
Yeah.
I would say even with that study, I'm not sure it's completely accurate because I would feel like a lot of men don't feel comfortable if they were bisexual coming forward, even in your generation and under.
I actually know quite a bit. I think I know as many bisexual men as I know gay men, like friends wise.
Yeah.
It's interesting factoid.
But that's part of the reason. So like, I did not like publicly come out until last year when I made my Instagram post. And
I'm glad I didn't just out you on this podcast episode.
You didn't what?
I'm glad I didn't out you on this podcast episode.
Oh no. I mean, and that was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like when I say came out, I meant publicly. Like my dad knew, my stepmom knew, like my sister knew. So, like even though my dad was a Republican, it still weirds me out. I'm not really sure how he was. It didn't make any sense to me because he was so open-minded. And he was just kind of like, as long as you're happy and not harming anybody or harming yourself, you know?
Which should be like the motto for everything.
Right. So, but like and I like, I have gay friends. Like that's not an issue. Like even to them, I don't think I ever really talked about being bisexual. Just because again, there's so much invalidation with it.
Yeah.
And because it did come from a generation where it wasn't, I don't know. And then there's also like, I'm really like private.
Yeah.
About
in like general.
I don't feel like I'm a prude. I'm just, I don't know. I don't want everybody to know my business.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So it was just like, but I felt like, I don't know. I guess I just felt like, so having somebody my age finally come out might help other younger people. And there needs to be more bi representation. Like, because it's so invalidated. I will say, I mean, if we're being honest, because now, like, since I was growing up, you have things like pansexual, right?
Yeah. And
I would say I probably fall under that as well, because I don't really, the attraction someone has doesn't really have anything to do with their gender, right? It has to do with who they are as a person. Like, be a kind person, and there's a chance that I'm going to be attracted to you. I mean, not that I'm attracted to everybody that's kind to me. Just, I'm saying if there's attraction and I know that you're kind, it's not going to matter if you're a man or woman or if what you were assigned at birth, Like, so, I don't know. I've never been to a pride parade, and that is something that I want to do. I didn't go this year. Maybe because it's so hot. Wait till I'm somewhere where it's not so fucking hot.
I realize that because Pride Month is in June, all the pride parades I ever remember seeing, they always look so hot. And I'm like, why is that? But yeah, it's in the middle of like the start of summer. It's like, Jesus.
I don't know. Maybe next year we'll travel somewhere where
if Pride
it's
Month
cooler.
was like during like winter.
Oh, I would 100% be there.
Bundled up in rainbow scarves and everything.
Yeah. Like, I just don't want to go out in the heat. That's really all it was. But I would like to, and I would say even another hesitation is because a lot of participants that are in Pride are so much more out there, I might be a little uncomfortable. And that's not like, it's not internalized homophobia. It's more of like the years of masking and hiding so many parts of myself that it's intimidating to be around people that are that free, which I get because like, even though like I've masked my own entire life because of my ADHD and autism, also I'm very introspective. So like I know myself better than most people do. And the key thing that most people would tell me is like, oh, you're very self-aware, and that makes them uncomfortable. And so, and that's in the same respect for like somebody who's very free with their sexuality might make me a little uncomfortable, and it's nothing about them, it's just about me.
Yeah.
So, like, that's my little tidbit on being part of the LGBTQIA.
I think it's a great tidbit.
I mean, I don't know. Whatever. It's just, I've thought about it. Like, I mean, I'm at a place where I don't want to date anybody. The thought of just like dealing with anybody. I know we're on opposite ends
we
there.
are, but we aren't. Because, like, obviously, I'm lonely and I would love. No, obviously, don't say that. I don't want to be that rude to myself. Damn, I just hurt my own feelings. Let me take a minute. Breathe. I would love to find a happy relationship, but I'm not like desperate to get into one, especially because that's a lot of work. That's a lot of commitment. And I'm not going to just like get into one just to get into one. But yeah, I don't know.
No, I agree. I think that is part of the reason I'm where I'm at with like dating and stuff is that
I will say though, I don't know how many times this has been the case. I think at least once, maybe like twice, and maybe more. I don't really know because I don't know everybody's business. But when I find out, or when I found out in the past that a woman I liked is either like bisexual or pansexual, that's like a stab to the heart. Not because I'm homophobic, because that means I got to compete with even more people.
Oh,
even
you don't mean
more.
someone you're dating. You just mean someone you're interested in.
I don't. Yeah, I said I don't gotta like just compete with dudes. That's fine. I know to compete with a dude. How am I gonna compete with a woman or like anybody else that I'm like not a part of?
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with that. I don't have the skill set for that. I wasn't prepared.
You didn't.
I didn't. We didn't study for this.
Right.
We didn't study for this. I didn't study to compete with women. Women.
I would say there is no competition.
There isn't.
No.
Bro, penises are gross. I'm sorry. I had to say it. Penises are gross.
Stop sending pictures.
That could be a whole. I could go a whole tangent on that. I don't get how that was ever a phenomenon.
It is still a thing. I mean, I haven't gotten one in a long time, and I'm really grateful for that.
Genitalia is quite grotesque.
I mean, I don't know if it's grotesque, but I'm just saying women are not visual creatures. Please stop. I say that, but then I can't tell you how many women are like, I watched that Megan Thee Stallion video like a lot of times.
Oh.
And then there's like this one like clip, I guess when she's meeting BTS, right? And they like, she turns around and they are staring. And I'm like, I'm not mad at you. I would respectfully would too. Like, I mean, really respectfully, because I don't think she's much older than you. And by like what, maybe she's like 27. So that feels real weird to me and gross. Like, you're way too young for me. But I'm just saying respectfully, I appreciate it as well, sirs. So I think women are visual creatures when it comes to other women. But like, and obviously it's just all goes back to the female gaze. Remember, female gaze is far different than the male gaze. Like female gaze is one of the like examples is like with Bridgerton, they talk about how, at least in the first 2 seasons, we're not going to talk about how horrible this fucking season was. But the first 2 seasons, what they did really good is female gaze is like when they zoom in on touches of hand. Like,
bro, that's when I realized I was made aware of in high school. Like, women like hands. I don't get it.
Yeah, because you think, what could they do with those hands?
I guess that's it. I just know mine's like opposite spectrum. Like, I don't particularly like hands or anything like that. But if you have a gross ass feet, like if you have a gross ass foot, bro, that freaks me out. I don't like feet in general. Feet are gross. So I'm just going to another foot. Like foot fetish. I don't get you guys. I don't get it. Why? Why do you like feet?
I don't know.
They're stinky. They are on the ground 90% of the time, and you don't know what's on there. So wear some closed-toed shoes. Wear some socks. Hopefully none. Thank you.
I'm just really glad that you inherited that ick from me because
feet are gross.
Feet have always kind of grossed me out, and that's not necessarily that I think that they're.
I don't want to see them dogs. I don't want to see them woofers. Put a muzzle on them. Take them to the kennel.
It's probably why I wear shoes all the time.
Did I make you feel self-conscious about it?
No, I'm telling you, no, the reason I wear shoes, like even like house shoes, is the ADHD. It has nothing to do with that. Because, the theory is once I take my shoes off, I'm not going to do anything. And
Oh,
and that's another thing that made me clue in that Peapod probably had some neurodivergency because he kept his shoes on in the house until he was ready to not do anything else for the day.
I'm wearing slippers right now.
I know,
because I know I'll have to get back up.
Yeah. So, but I don't even remember how we got. Oh, the female form is much more attractive than the male form.
Yes.
And that
to us,
female gaze and male gaze is vastly different. Is really what that was. But I don't know where I.
Did you have any fictional crushes that were female presenting?
Oh, I mean, the first like.
When you were young, obviously.
I mean, it's so. I was trying to think. Like, it's so cliche. It's so cliche, but The Mummy, 1999, was definitely my first like full bi awakening.
People talk about that a lot
because it is a beautiful cast. It's Brendan Fraser, like Rachel Weisz.
There's one like that from my generation. I can't think.
There's a lot of. But that was like the first one where I was like,
I gotta go to my letterbox.
Find that everybody in this attractive for the most part.
There was like a film that came out in the past couple of years. I was like, that's insane. Like everyone in this film is attractive. Like either I would want to date them or I'd want to look like them.
But like, I mean, also like, what is it? I'm really surprised that it took so long for me to realize that I had Tyra Banks' Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition picture hanging up in my bedroom in high school. And my parents asked me, I was like, I think she's really pretty, but like not like that. Like I didn't say not like that, but
that's like me making Disney PowerPoints of all the Disney actresses that I had a crush on.
Yeah, basically. Oh yeah, but like
I also did like making PowerPoints.
You really did. Whenever they showed you how to do that in school, you were off to the races. But what is it? I was trying to think if there was any other. I mean, I had a huge crush on Sarah Michelle Gellar, because of Buffy. Like, and I mean, mostly because of that character, because she was such a strong female character. But I also had a crush on Seth Green in that. So, and the guy that played James Marsters that plays Spike. I was never an angel girly.
I just went to a Reddit of bisexual awakening movies.
It's The Mummy is like number one.
Pirates of the Caribbean with Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley.
And Johnny Depp.
And
what's her name?
The second one is The Mummy.
What's her name? The one that plays Gamora.
Oh,
Zoe Saldana. She's also in there. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Rocky Horror Picture Show, somebody says.
Yeah.
My Generation, Spider-Man Homecoming, because Tom and Zendaya.
Yeah. I mean, because I get that they're adults.
Someone said Pitch Perfect.
No, Pitch Perfect for sure. I could definitely see that.
I can see the Star Wars prequels because that has Ewan McGregor and Natalie Portman.
And Keira Knightley, right?
And Keira Knightley for the first one. But she might have been underage, so that would be weird.
I mean,
unless you're also like a young, a wee little lad. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
No. Yes. Because of his wife, Jessica Rabbit.
That's wild.
Yeah. Like, so it's just a lot. I don't think that like, I don't remember like consciously of like when I like watching something like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right? Or even Buffy thinking, I don't know when I finally realized, like, hey, I might really like girls. It was probably well, no, it was in my early 20s. I just realized that. So it did take a while for me to like put the connection together that, hey, this whole time again, I just thought I'm admiring the female form.
Yeah.
But probably more than like, I mean, I don't know, And then it just wasn't a big thing. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I came out not so much for myself because again, I'm so private about like that. It was more for like me speaking up, especially because I think most people, I have this like people meet me, they would not guess most of the things that I've experienced or gone through in my life.
Yeah. You're an Autobot.
What? A Transformer?
Yeah, more than me. Yeah.
Oh.
That's your generation. Come on. Come
I
on,
don't
quick.
know.
I know it's late in
I'm
the
just
day.
thinking a robot. Like,
You're a robot.
but I just thought, you know what? What?
I don't know. I just thought of like something like I don't know what the exact quote is. But it was like something that, like Troy said from Community, and he was like, "Sound like a robot." I don't know. I need to watch Community
That's funny
again.
because I thought of Tina in the episode when she hurts her leg and she has the video thing. She's the robot.
Wait, what?
I don't know if you've made it that far.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
What is it though? Yeah, so the whole reason that I did the Instagram post last year was really just to help if there was somebody younger or even my age or whatever that was struggling, not with just being bisexual, obviously, like, but just in general, that maybe somebody like me who isn't very open about those kinds of things saying that would help them or at least make them feel less alone. Because I don't feel like anybody should be, as long as, again, who you're loving is consensual. So not a child, not an animal, right? Not somebody of the same age of you, that it's not consensual. As long as it is consensual, both parties are consenting, and you're not harming each other, who cares if it's a man that loves a man, a woman that loves a woman, or whatever in between?
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand poly, but that's because
I
don't have I barely have the energy for one person.
Yeah,
I mean, if that's what you're into, cool. I just don't invite me. It's too tiring.
You're not here. I don't want to go to that cookout.
I don't want to. Don't.
Take my to-go plate and leave.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm grateful that, like, again, your generation has grown up with more representation. So there's more openness, and then I guess, even though it's like I don't feel like my sexuality isn't something I've talked about openly with you, I would hope that I made it a home environment where you didn't feel like you couldn't talk about those things.
I don't think I ever actually truly questioned my sexuality, which I realize I have a luxury to have gone through. But there's been times where I thought about it, but not like actually genuinely questioned it. And the only times I thought about it was because someone either asked me or assumed I was.
Yeah.
And most of those times stemmed because I never really saw me date a girl, never saw me show interest in girls. And that just stems from being self-conscious about how I look. So
yeah,
that's fun.
You're talking about me when you were younger.
Well, you, but also other people.
Yeah. But me, I was just, it wasn't because you weren't interested, like, that you hadn't shown any interest in girls. It was basically me giving you the open that if you were, I am open to talking about that, and that I would be okay with that.
Still remember the first thing someone said. The first thing I was not even first thing was spoken to me. Not even it wasn't even a teacher. The first thing spoken to me in middle school. You know what it was?
Mm-mm.
Are you a girl?
Oh.
That's how I started middle school.
You didn't even have long hair.
No, I was chubby, so I guess I had curves. Which
Not
makes
really.
it even really weirder. I wasn't even wearing anything that would be considered feminine. It came out of nowhere.
I will say, I think I waited till you were in middle school, appropriate age to be like, hey, do you like girls? Do you like boys?
No, I remember one conversation specifically where we were when you asked.
We were in the car, I know that.
Yeah, in the car waiting at a stoplight.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I mean, I just don't like anybody.
Yeah.
I'm chill. And secretly I was like, oh, I like girls, it's a girl I like, but nah,
and see, I don't know why you didn't talk to me about that.
Cause what are you gonna do with that?
What are you gonna do with that information? I'd have given you the the basic pep
yes,
talk.
Mom, I like girls, but if you want to know the real story, let me buckle up even more. I'm self-conscious.
Well, I mean, it would have hurt me, and I probably would have cried.
Yeah, and I don't want to make you cry. I mean, I know I was 12, but I was aware of that.
I will say though, if you had talked to me about that stuff, maybe things would be different with your body image and stuff like that.
Yeah. Maybe.
So, or at least I'd have been clued in sooner that you were struggling so much with that.
I had a first girlfriend, so I was
high school.
Yeah, freshman year.
Was it?
Freshman
No,
year.
I thought it was sophomore year. Oh,
it was during Night of the Living Dead.
That's right.
And like, if you want to technically call it, like, I had like this like romantic Jada Smith entanglement with someone on Overwatch, like when I was in middle school. Who, like, I sadly worry what happened to her because we lost connection. But like, I remember like memories like stuff being bad.
Yeah.
That's like a weird thing with generation that we grow up with. We make these connections, and like some people make strong friendships where they eventually meet each other in person, like the internet and like video games. That's really crazy.
Oh,
and there's a lot of, like, I wonder what the statistics are for how many relationships have been formed, from video games, like online video games.
Oh, I don't know about for video games, but a lot of my friendships have came through MySpace.
Yeah.
God, I miss MySpace. I miss it a lot.
You know where I bet there isn't a lot of relationships formed?
Facebook?
It's owned by Facebook.
Oh, Instagram?
Yeah. I highly doubt that. Like, I highly doubt anybody.
I'm trying to think. No. I'd say most of the ones.
Less of. It seems more artificial, and so like, I can't imagine anybody actually.
It's the dog accounts that I follow. Those pages. Remember I told you, which her dog passed. Lily passed. And it makes me very, very sad. Remember after Andy died, she sent stuff.
Yeah, no, you already. I remember this.
And then one of the accounts that I follow and they follow me started following our podcast page recently. So it can happen, but no, not on the level. And even on Facebook, I don't think anybody that I've had friends that are Facebook friends came from MySpace or I know in real life.
I saw it of the movie.
What?
I was thinking about. Rent.
It does have a lot of beautiful people in it. Tay Diggs, Adina Menzel, Anthony Rapp.
You've not named like the number one for me.
Oh, Rosaria Dawson.
Yeah.
She's gettable. Because, I mean, look at who she's dated.
I don't understand it. It's the Benny Blanco. I'm coining the term. It's the Benny Blanco effect.
I mean,
like how? Like, more power to you.
Hey, Eric Andre makes sense. He's really funny.
Well, I wasn't thinking of Eric Andre.
You're thinking of Cory Booker?
Yeah, whatever he was. Yeah.
He's a senator.
I almost said senator, so yeah. I was going to be correct in that.
He's a disappointment. Sorry. It's just like another one that said he was a progressive and you are just a moderate. That's what's disappointing to me. You went from Eric Andre, who was like super radical, to Cory Booker.
Yeah.
Like, I'm confused. Especially, you've played some of our favorite roles, and you're so hot. Like, and I can say that because I'm pretty sure she's my age or older. We're at least around the same age.
I know it's not a movie, but I know, I've heard some of my women friends when they like found out they were either bisexual or, like full on lesbian or pansexual, anything like resembling that. Have you seen the music video to what's the song called? It's Shakira and Rihanna's song that they did together.
I don't remember the name of it.
Oh my god!
Have I never seen that?
How
have I never seen that?
And Rihanna, Can't Remember to Forget You.
I'll have to go look that up.
You haven't seen that music video? It has 1.3 billion views. Not besides Shakira, but like, that's an insane video.
I mean, it's Rihanna and Shakira.
I know.
They could just stand there and I'd be like, yes.
Literally.
And one of those is my age. That's Shakira.
Yeah, Rihanna's like mid-30s.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how old she is. She might be closing in on 40. But what is it? So the point is, yes, I'm part of the LGBTQ community, but even if I wasn't, I would 100% be an ally. I would be here for it. Just like if I had a white son, right? Instead of Dakota, right? I mean, he'd still be Dakota.
I'm still white.
You are still white, but you know what I mean? I had a kid that definitely looked white, right?
I don't look white to you?
Shut up. I would still be for Black Lives Matter. I would still be advocating and being activist about that. So
you're going to say activating. So I'm advocating and activating. Yes, what does that mean?
Exactly.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
You've activated my trap card.
I'm going to tell you. I'm not.
It's time.
I'm not the safe person at all, actually, except for people that are discriminated against.
In honor of you being bisexual, if you had to be in a relationship with one male presenting character and one female presenting character from One Piece, since we're
Oh.
thoroughly in One Piece, who would it be?
I mean, if it's a female, it's Nami.
It's Nami.
It's
I knew it was Nami.
I actually like
Personally,
a ginger. I like a ginger.
Personally, you know why I
It's
stand?
Nico Robin, right?
No, she's second.
Oh, it's Boa?
It's Boa Hancock. Because I don't like.
If
I'm worried about anybody. If she loved me, it'd be great. It'd be. Luffy doesn't understand how good he has it. Luffy doesn't understand.
If it's Mel,
I feel like it might change the further we get, but I just want to hear now.
I mean,
for all One Piece fans, right now we are in Dressrosa.
I would say Ace, but he's gone.
God, spoiler!
Oh, sorry.
Literally, you spoiled.
I'm sorry.
I won't make this a clip.
I meant he could be on vacation. He's on vacation.
I didn't know. Well, I'm not making a clip out of disservice, or I'm adding a spoiler warning.
What is it? I don't know. That's just so much harder. I guess Law.
That's who I secretly wanted you to say, because that's who I'd want to look like.
Personality wise,
in an alternate world, I'd probably.
I'm not looking at looks. If we were looking at looks, it'd probably be Zoro, like looks wise. But and not that Zoro has a horrible personality.
No, I love my bro Law.
He'd get lost all the time. He has a very singular focus. And Law comes off, I think like Law's a lot like me, where it's like, it seems like I'm a super bitch on the outside, right? But on the inside, I care so deeply, and I will do everything I can for people that I love. And I feel like he has that same kind of energy, at least what I know so far.
You don't know half of it.
I'm sure I don't know half though.
We're on the cusp of it.
I was trying to think of, it's hard. I hate that there's not, I feel like in anime, there's not as many female characters that I find attractive. One Piece does a pretty good job, but Naruto, I don't know. Tsunade maybe?
Tsunade?
The rest are children is hard for me.
What? Anko?
Oh, God, yes, actually, that's over
Anko,
Tsunade.
that was one of my first, Anko. When I first watched Naruto,
she has
I was
that
oh my
Pat
God.
Minotaur thing, which you'd have to look
Yeah,
up. But she's very much 80s rocker.
Anko,
Jim and the Holograms vibe.
Who else? What animes have you watched? But yeah, unfortunately, a lot of animes.
A lot of them have a lot of children in it, so it is difficult. Ooh, actually, and she's gross though, but attractive wise, the chick from Jujutsu Kaisen with the brother, you know who I'm talking about.
The brother.
The one in the latest season where her little brother fights with her, but he also sleeps beside her, and it's a weird relationship.
I vaguely know what you're talking about.
She's gorgeous, but like Hisoka, she gives super pervy, gross vibes.
Fair.
I thought you were just gonna ask in media in general.
We can do that too. Oh, Riza Hawkeye.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know.
Media in general is so broad.
Well, I meant shows. I don't know.
Shows. I don't know.
Why are you repeating me?
Why are you?
Are we doing some weird shit now?
Doing some weird shit now.
I miss Little Dakota.
Me too.
I really appreciate Grown Up Dakota, but I just miss Little Dakota a lot.
So it's kind of funny the way food and humans kind of are similar.
I feel like you're gonna say something real weird.
It's not weird. This is where my brain goes. Okay, when she said that, I was like, "Yo, Oreo mini Oreos, they're so good. They are better than regular Oreos."
Oh,
and you don't really realize how bad regular Oreos are, because you don't know how many calories it is. You're not worried about it because you're snacking on mini Oreos. That's when life's fun. When you're little, life's fun. No cares, no depression. And then you get to big Oreos, and you after you eat 3 big Oreos, and you look at that, and you eat a whole sleeve of Oreos, you feel shit about yourself. After you grow up, you feel shit about yourself.
I'm just saying, for some of us when we were little, it wasn't that way.
Yeah, I'm not some of us. I'm me.
I know you're not some of us. I'm just saying. Some of us never got to experience that.
Let me be me, bro. Cody's me. Let me be me.
I was going to say something. Crap. I forgot. There was something excuse me, actually in what you were saying, and I don't remember now what I was going to say.
After I was copying you?
Yeah, there was something. I don't know. That's why you shouldn't interrupt
You said
me.
you missed Little Me?
Well, no, there was that, but it wasn't. I don't know. I've lost it. It went away. Yay, ADHD.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It is what it is. It, it's gonna bug me, and I'm probably gonna remember it. Like, oh, I know what it was. It was like what you were talking about, right? I think I've told you this before, but one of the places I waited tables at Cheddar's, right? I used to work with this girl because she was a girl. She was younger than me, and I was in my mid-20s. Like she was like 18. She's like, when I was little, I used to think people were born old and got younger. So like they just came out like 80 and de-aged.
How does that even work?
I don't know.
So like when she was young, she was like, I have all these years of wisdom on me, but I don't remember any of them.
I don't know. What? Yeah. I just thought that was that has stuck with me for, I was like 24 at the time, and it's stuck with me for 20 years. Because I thought, what a odd thing to think, but it made her more interesting to me. That was about it. I don't remember much else about her.
That's fine.
I just thought it was interesting because you were talking about how, being little is like peak. And then, but again, I warned you. I kept telling you, growing up is a trap.
It's a trap.
It's terrible. It's the worst. And then imagine never having the fun part.
Yeah.
So when people are like, oh, why aren't you more fun? I don't know, because it's been trauma for 45 years. This is as much fun as I can get. That's not true. I am fun. I hate that. I hate that I don't like that. It takes you actually knowing me to be fun, to see how fun I am.
I like that because it makes it a surprise.
True. Anyhow, you just want to ET it? Yeah,
because my stomach's making sounds like Professor Snape's classroom.
When he's finally, or no, he was in potions.
I out Harry Pottered you. I had to think for a second. I out Harry Pottered you, and I'm gonna ride that high till I go to sleep.
Whatever. He eventually took over dark arts. He got what he wanted.
Yeah.
I was just thinking whenever Harry was in the potions class, it wasn't Snape. It was a different teacher. So that's why I got confused. God, I can't think of his name. It's one they brought back. I don't remember his name. I can't believe it. I had half an energy drink a few hours ago. Slug. You know what? You looked that shit up.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
We'll never know.
You are not smooth with it. I'm not even.
Anyways,
whatever.
I love you.
I love you.
To the back.
To the back.
To the back.
To the back.
Podcast.